The vision of Hermas, the voice of God to us who wish to know Him and follow Him. Part 4, Vision 3. Concerning the building of the triumphant church and the various classes of reprobate men. Chapter 1. The vision which I saw, my brethren, was of the following nature, having fasted frequently and having prayed to the Lord that He would show me the revelation which He promised to show me through that old woman. The same night that old woman appeared to me and said to me, "Since you are so anxious and eager to know all things, go into the part of the country where you tarry, and about the 5th hour I shall appear unto you and show you all that you ought to see." I asked her, saying, "Lady, into what part of the country am I to go?" And she said, "Into any part you wish." Then I chose a spot which was suitable and retired. Before, however, I began to speak and to mention the place, she said to me, "I will come where you wish." Accordingly, I went to the country and counted the hours and reached the place where I had promised to meet her. And I see an ivory seat ready placed, and on it a linen cushion, and above the linen cushion was spread a covering of fine linen. Seeing these laid out, and yet no one in that place, I began to feel awe, and as it were a trembling seized hold of me, and my hair stood on end, and as it were a horror came upon me when I saw that I was all alone. But on coming back to myself and calling to mind the glory of God, I took courage, bent my knees, and again confessed my sins to God, as I had done before. Whereupon the old woman approached, accompanied by 6 young men whom I had seen before, and she stood behind me and listening to me as I prayed and confessed my sins to the Lord. And touching me she said, "Hermas, cease praying continuously for your sins. Pray for righteousness, that you may have a portion of it immediately in your house." On this she took me up by the hand and brought me to the seat and said to the young men, "Go and build." When the young men had gone and we were alone, she said to me, "Sit here." I said to her, "Lady, permit my elders to be seated first." "Do what I bid you," she said. "Sit down." When I would have sat down on her right, she did not permit me, but with her hand beckoning to me to sit down on her left. While I was thinking about this and feeling vexed that she did not let me sit on the right, she said, "Are you vexed, Hermas? The place to the right is for others who have already pleased God, and have suffered for His name's sake, and you have yet much to accomplish before you can sit with them. But abide as you now do in your simplicity, and you will sit with them and with all who do their deeds and bear what they have borne." Chapter 2. "What have they borne?" said I. "Listen," she said. "Scourges, prisons, great tribulations, crosses, wild beasts for God's name's sake. On this account is assigned to them the division of sanctification on the right hand, and to every one who shall suffer for God's name. To the rest is assigned the division on the left. But both for those who sit on the right and those who sit on the left, there are the same gifts and promises, only those who sit on the right and have some glory. You then are eager to sit on the right with them, but your shortcomings are many. But you will be cleansed from your shortcomings, and all who are not given to doubts shall be cleansed from their iniquities up till this day." Saying this, she wished to go away, but falling down at her feet, I begged her by the Lord that she would show me the vision which she had promised to show me. And then she again took hold of me by the hand and raised me, and made me sit on the seat to the left. And lifting up a splendid rod, she said to me, "Do you see something great?" And I said, "Lady, I see nothing." She said to me, "Lo, do you not see opposite you a great tower, built upon the waters, of splendid square stones?" For the tower was built square by those 6 young men who had come with her. But myriads of men were carrying stones to it, some dragging them from the depths, others removing them from the land, and they had handed them these 6 young men. They were taking them in building, and those of the stones that were dragged out of the depths they placed in the building just as they were. for they were polished and fitted exactly into other stones, and became so united with one another that the lines of juncture could not be perceived. And in this way the building of the tower looked as if it were made out of one stone. Those stones, however, which were taken from the earth, suffered a different fate. For the young men rejected some of them, some they fitted into the building, and some they cut down and cast far away from the tower. Many other stones, however, lay around the tower, and the young men did not use them for the building. For some of them were rough, others had cracks in them, others had been too short, and others white and round, and did not fit into the building of the tower. Moreover, I saw other stones thrown far away from the tower and falling into the public road. Yet they did not remain on the road, but were rolled into a pathless place. And I saw others falling into the fire and burning, others falling close to the water, and yet not capable of being rolled into the water, though they wished to be rolled down and to enter the water.